Anthony Herwig here with a Hubbard girls basketball player profile. We are joined by senior Jillian Palumbo. And Jillian, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about your senior year. I mean, you're a multiple sport athlete, so this is not the first senior season that you're going through, but what's it been like this year to deal with, all the emotions that senior year can bring?
It's been really great so far with my basketball season. I did have a tough ending to my volleyball season, so that coming into my basketball season, I wanted to make sure I had a good final season. So just wanted to have a big impact on myself, big impact on the team.
What were some of the things you're telling yourself going into senior season? Some of the goals that you had, some of the things you wanted to make sure that you accomplished before your career at Hubbard was over?
I wanted to make sure that I gave it my all. I didn't want to end my season knowing that I could do better. So I wanted to know that I gave it my 100% and that I couldn't do better than I did. But yeah.
And you guys are off to a great start. You're 3-0 so far on the year. Some thrilling victories, especially that season opener
Yeah.
at Mooney. Talk about the start to the season and how much confidence you think it's given the team right now.
I think starting off with a 3-0 lead has us in a really good position right now. It brings us a lot of confidence. We have Warren G. Harding coming up, which is going to be a tough match for us. And with our confidence right now, we feel like we have a good chance to be close to them, have a good game. So we just have to come out strong and use our confidence from those previous games to continue to go on to the next ones.
As a senior on the team, you're obviously a leader. Talk about what it's like to kind of step into a leadership role and to try to be the best leader you can be.
Being a leader, I think, is a really important role, and I've always looked up to all the seniors when I was a freshman, so I know how it feels to be one of the young kids on the team that don't really know what they're doing and need help. So being a leader is really important to me, and just making sure that everyone knows what they're doing, and if they don't, that you lead them the right way and let them know. So.
When you think about your journey, who are some of the leaders of the past, some of the people that you think taught you how to be a leader on the teams that you've been on?
Grace Narcom was definitely one of the main people that I looked up to a lot. A lot of the seniors from my sophomore year I looked up to: Mary Frangos, Eleni Gurlis, Sophie Murphy, um, Liv Reese, and then last year Rihanna Barr. I looked up to her a lot. I had a lot of people that came and helped me throughout my season. So.
Now that it's your turn to kind of be that leader, what kind of leadership qualities do you think you have? What kind of leader are you?
I think just letting everyone know where they need to be on the court and explaining to them that it's okay to make mistakes, but you have to learn from your mistakes and move past them and just continue on, because if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're not going to get better. So just being one of the tough leaders on the court to make sure that they fix what they do and just continue on.
In a couple of years, when we ask, the leaders of the future in this program, what it was like to be your teammate and the lessons they learned from you, what do you hope the answer is? What are you trying to teach the players that are going to be leading this team after you're gone?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what kind of lessons are you trying to teach the leaders that are going to be leading this team when you're gone? Like when we ask next year the leaders of the team what they learned from being your teammate, what do you hope their answer would be?
I hope that they learn to just be determined to show other people to make a difference and just want to be a big role, and it's important to want to have an impact on the underclassmen. So I hope that that's what I'm one of those people.
Let's talk about your basketball journey. When did you kind of pick up the sport? When did you find yourself wanting to spend more time on it and become, as good as you are now?
Well, I started in fourth grade, and I played ever since then. But once sophomore year hit, I knew that I was really determined to play basketball, and ever since then, I just gave it my all.
I mean, you are an athlete, like we said, multiple sports at Hubbard, which means you're always busy. What's
Right.
your time management skills like? How do you juggle it all?
It was very hard at first because I did volleyball and I went straight to basketball, and then I did travel volleyball into softball, so it was hard to manage it. But I think we're very under coaches are very understanding when it comes to managing team sports and like being at certain things. So once I stopped doing travel volleyball, it became easier. But then again, I play all year round, so I still have trouble finding spots to fill and stuff like that.
What's the transitions like between sport to sport? I mean, do you give yourself a little bit of a break between volleyball and basketball, or were you like right in the gym as soon as volleyball ended?
Yeah, I'm more of the person who, as soon as the season ends, I go right to the next one. I don't really give my body a break, which I've been told to, but I immediately want to jump to the next one because I don't want to miss out any opportunities.
When you kind of reflect on your journey and your career, what kind of things are you proud of yourself for accomplishing and being able to do, whether it be on the basketball court, whether it be in the school? What are some things that you're really proud of yourself for?
I'm really proud of myself for everything that I've done in volleyball. Becoming the libero was a big accomplishment for me, and becoming a good sorry, when I basketball sophomore year, I was really proud of myself for my accomplishments. And then junior year, I got um, defensive player of the year, things like that. Like, I'm very proud of that. My grades are good, stuff like that.
Let's talk about those grades and your work in the schoolroom. What's the senior year like? I mean, have you done enough work that you've let to take your foot off the gas pedal a little bit in your senior year, where you don't have as many hard classes, or do you think you still have some tough ones this year that you have to take care of?
I did not have as many classes that were hard as my previous years, but the only hard class that I'm taking right now might be my anatomy class, but that's about it. Everything else I kind of went easy this year, so.
What's it like to kind of be able to, I don't want to say not care about school this year, but not have as much stress your senior year in the schoolroom as you've had the first 3 seasons?
I think it's really beneficial to me because it gives me more time to focus on my sports, which is, I try to make my main focus, but obviously school is. So now that I have easier classes, I have more time to focus on my sports. So
What have been your favorite classes in Hubbard in your career?
I think my all my math classes. I'm a big math person, so any of my math classes were definitely my favorite.
And then we'll flip it and say, what's, I don't want to say least favorite, but like toughest class. What's the class you worked the hardest on?
Probably chemistry.
It's a science trying to be math,
Yeah.
right? A lot of math in chemistry. You should have nailed that out of the park. When you
Yeah.
think about your future, when you graduate, what are some of the future goals? What do you see for yourself in the next chapter of life?
So recently I just went on a visit to Penn State Shenango for volleyball, and I'm hoping that I end up going there. I really like it there. So I'm hoping that I can play volleyball there, and I might end up emailing their basketball coach and seeing if I can also play basketball there, and just wherever that takes me. I'm going to try to go to be a pharmacist, so hopefully that's my future.
You gave us like the perfect segue, and I was going to ask what sport you want to play. If you wanted to play sports, your volleyball is one, right? So volleyball is
Yeah,
the one that you definitely want to play at the next level.
right. Yeah.
You've been playing all three of them. When did like volleyball become that one that you wanted to make sure that you played the next level? When did it become your number one?
I think ever since my freshman year, I just knew that I wanted to play it because I had to work the hardest for it. When I was a sophomore, I was working really hard to get the libero spot. So I think that made me want it more, and it made me fall in love with the sport.
When did you start thinking like maybe I can play basketball too? When did basketball creep into the college possibilities?
Honestly, I think it started this year because I haven't been. I'm not a really big I'm really big on defense and everything like that, and my offense has been getting better this year. So I think I'm starting to like it a little more, and now I just see it as an option. I've always wanted to play in the next level, but I didn't know which sport I wanted to go for.
What kind of excites you about being able to have the opportunity to play college sports, whether it be volleyball or basketball?
What excites me is that ever since I was little, I've always talked about wherever I went to college, I wanted to go play a sport there, no matter what the sport was. So just being able to have the opportunity just has me really excited, and I'm ready to play at the next level.
All right, senior night's a long way away. You have a lot of basketball to play before we get to your last home game. But when you get there, you know senior night better than anybody. You know how you'll handle yourself. What kind of emotions are going to hit you when you play that last home game for basketball?
I'm gonna be very anxious coming on the court. I know that I'm gonna give it my all for the last time in front of everybody at my home court, but I'm gonna be really sad because basketball has been one of my favorites. But I wanna be strong for our girls on the team, but I just know that my emotions are gonna be all over the place on our last game.
Does going through a senior night already once during volleyball kind of help you deal with it now for basketball?
I don't know, honestly, because I think that I might have more emotions for basketball than I did volleyball.
What are the emotions gonna be like? I mean, I'm assuming you're gonna still play softball this year, but if you when you do, what are the emotions gonna be like when that's it? Because that's gonna be your last sport for Hubbard. Do you think that'll be even more, or do you think it'll be a little bit less for softball?
I think I think it'll be a little less for softball because I'm not as close with all the people. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of softball. I play because I just played ever since I was little, so I just continue to play it. But it's not one of my main sports like basketball and volleyball is. So I don't think I would care as much as I do for the other two sports.
But the one thing you do get to do because you play softball and you get to represent Hubbard from the start of the fall until the end of the spring, which means you get to wear the school colors and the eagles across your chest a lot. What makes you so proud that you're able to do that for so long for 3 straight seasons?
I'm proud that I get to show our school or show off to our school that people can be three-sport athletes, be good in school, be determined to do better, you know what I mean, and just show that they care about what they do. Because there's people out there that I know want to show that they care about their sports, and I'm one of those people. So it just feels good to show that off.
If I ask you to describe what it means to you to be a Hubbard Eagle, what would you say?
Definitely being determined to be the best person that you can be.
And then the last thing we like to do with these player profiles is we like to make sure that the people in your life get the limelight too. So I'm going to give you the time to give thanks and shout outs to all the people in your life that have supported you, that have been there for you throughout your career. I want to do that now.
Okay. Um, I'd like to thank my parents for always supporting me in every sports I do because it's really expensive at times. And I'd like to thank my Aunt Taylor and my grandma for always supporting me and coming to every game that they can. And I'd like to thank my coaches who always push me to be the best that I can be. And yeah, that's it.
And because you're being interviewed in the Christmas season, you also get the privilege of the Christmas questions. What's your favorite Christmas song out there?
mm, all I want for Christmas is you.
Classic. Okay. What's
Yeah,
your favorite Christmas movie?
probably Elf.
And then the last one, what's the best Christmas gift that you think you've received in your life?
Um, I don't know. I can't even. Well, I got a new bed, so I was really excited for that.
That is a great gift. What's on your list this year? What's on the wish list?
A lot of clothes, hoodies, sweatpants. I just want a lot of new clothes.
Awesome. All right, so we will thank you so much for your time. We want to thank everyone that have supported you and watched you like you did, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of this year. You know we'll be out there covering you, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you so much.